Graspop Metal Meeting 2018, day 4, and in our studio, no one else but Christian of Powerflo. Welcome.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having us.
How long has it been since you played here the last time?
I've been talking about that on tour. I haven't been here since like 2006, or I think Fear Factory played 2006. I'm sure they played here after I was out of the band, but my last remembrance of Graspop was 2006, and it's 12 years ago or something.
Yeah.
It's crazy how fast times are flying and how big this festival has become.
Yeah,
it's huge.
Yeah. Now, you've had some minor setbacks and stuff like that, but you always kept on making music. How good does it feel to be back on tour?
It feels awesome. It's definitely, it's my calling. I've been doing it, and when I was out of Fear Factory, I started missing music. I started riding motorcycles. I ended up in an accident, a really bad one, almost lost my leg. And even though every step I take, I'm in pain, I just want to be on stage. And on stage, I block all that out and try to be as mobile as possible. But it's been a little rough. I've been hurting, and I was in really bad shape. But for me, music is everything, and I was really glad I woke up and still to be here and be able to use my hands and play music and even have my thoughts in my brain, because I've seen a lot of people that ride motorcycles in Los Angeles end up a lot worse. So I'm very blessed to still be able to play music. And
now you're in Powerflo with Billy Whitson. Can we call it a super band or a super group?
We never looked at it like that. It's a super group of friends, and we've been friends over 20 years. I known Billy for 27 years, Roy for 24.
Was he one of the reasons you got to LA, or it was one of your first musical friends?
I went to Los Angeles in November of 1993 on vacation, and I was at this apartment building, went to the grocery store, and I saw Bobby and some of the other guys from Biohazard, and they were like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "I'm on vacation." "Well, you should come and hang out. We're recording a record, State of the World Address." I'm like, "Oh, wow. Okay, I'll come to the studio." And where are you staying? I'm like, "Right here in this apartment building." And they're like, "That's where we're staying." And I was on the second floor, they were on the fourth floor, right above. So I was hanging out with them every day, and then Evan at that time was like, "You know what? You should be in Fear Factory." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Here's a bass, guitar, strings, whatever you need, go audition." And I ended up in the band, and that's where everything started for me. So it's because of Biohazard that I ended up in Fear Factory and toured.
Do you have a reason, or what do you think that makes hip-hop and metal match so good?
I grew up in Antwerp, skateboarding in Antwerp City, in Stadspark. And all my friends there, everybody listened to different things. There was people listening to hip-hop. There was a mingling pot of music and different personalities. Skateboard work has that vibe. And I would get a cassette from one of my best friends that's here today, and he would give me a tape, and one side had NWA on it, and the other side was, Suicidal Tendencies. So I grew up with the different styles of music, and when Judgment Night came out, or even, even when Run DMC was doing with Aerosmith that song, and I was like, oh wow, or they're trying to make it commercial. But then when you heard like Judgment Night and all those bands doing it, and Slayer and Ice-T did a song together, and Booyah Tribe and Faith No More, and Helmet and House of Pain. And it was just like the ultimate soundtrack, I think, we're like, fuck, wow, this is it. You have a heavy metal guitar riff, and you hear Chuck D rapping over it, or Sendog, or Be Real. It's just like, it gives you chills. You're listening. And I think that's the power of MCs, In metal music, everybody's just like, yeah! But in rap, these guys are like, oh, whatever I say, it has to make sense, and I have to try to get your brain to go like, wow, intelligence, or whatever it is that they're saying. It's all about what they're saying. So even for Sendog being in Powerflo, he likes metal, but it's still a different avenue for him that he's getting comfortable and used to, but he loves metal. And for him to see Ice-T here playing with Body Count, and I saw Ice-T and Sen coming together, and they were like, man, we're taking this metal shit over, bro. It's like, wow, It's cool to see.
Yeah. So now you're on tour. You're in Belgium. I saw you brought your mother.
Yeah,
here. Do you use these kind of opportunities to see everyone again?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you came on stage and I saw there was like, I think a lot of friends of you in front of the stage and yelling. And
yeah, my mom was always on. Whenever I come here, you know, she doesn't get to see. We don't get to see each other that often. I'm going to try to make some more time to start coming back to Belgium a little more often to visit. But I've been hustling, basically, hustling in the States to get something new going, and it's not easy. Starting a new band is not the easy. It's like a business, you know. I'm sure if I open up a bakery in the middle of the town of Dessel, I'm sure I'm going to struggle, you know, selling bread. But it's the same in music. There's so much music. When we were doing Fear Factor, there was maybe 30,000 bands. Now there's 3 million bands on the planet. There's so much music out there, and music is music is a free thing, it seems like these days, and establishing yourself to a band where you can really make music your everyday. The band is like an everyday brand that just tours the world and has demand. It's not easy. You really have to bring something to the table that people appreciate, and you got to win people over. It's not easy, but you know, we have a good team. Sandog, Billy from Baez, Roy from Downset. They're all guys with a lot of history, and they're veterans and professionals. And you know, at the end of the day, for me, like a lot of people look at it like, oh, you must be rich and stuff. And I'm not really rich. I live week by week, month by month. I struggle just like anybody else, but I'd rather do that struggle and play music every day and do this than have a shit job that I hate, but I live in a nice house with a nice car. That's not me. For me, the grind on stage and doing this, and it's really like, I mean, that's the way I want to go out. Yeah. If I can die on stage one day, just be like, good night, and do the Tony Cooper thing, you know what I mean, like the comedian, and that's really the best way to go out, I think.
Christian, thank you for joining us here in the studio.
I appreciate it.
Have a great tour, and I hope to see you back soon.
Absolutely. Next
Thanks.
year.
Yeah.
2019, we'll be back.